We shall now discuss the types of blenders such as double con and V-con blend. Nature of mixing varies from blender to blender. Based on that, all these mixing equipments are classified into various types. The first class are batch type mixers, and the examples are mortar and pestle, where the mechanism of mixing is trituration. There are a class of tumbling mixers or cylindrical mixers with no mixing blades. Examples are double con blender and V-con blender. They are operated by the mechanism of tumbling. A tumbling action produces effective mixing in them. Tumbling mixers with a mixing blade are another category. So a V-con or double con blender with blades are example here. Tumbling action along with a shearing force is causing the mixing action in these particular blenders. The fourth type are static mixers. Ribbon blender, Sigma blender, and planetary paddle are examples for static mixers. Stationary shell is a feature of these particular machines along with a rotating blade. The machine as such doesn't move, but the blade alone moves. The fifth category are air mixers or fluidized mixers. Example is fluidized mixer, and air supported blending is happening here where the materials are fluidized with a high speed current of air. Continuous type mixers, these are the sixth type. They are rotating shells with rotating blades, and examples for these continuous type mixers are barrel type and zigzag type mixers. Moving on to double con blender. Double con blender, as you can see in the image, it is constructed with a conical structure. Above that, an inverted con is placed, and the entire assembly is connected to a shaft, and the shaft is driven by a motor. Hence, the double con keeps rotating on the axis and creates blending of powders. They are usually charged and discharged through the same port. There will be a charging port, the same is used as a discharging port, and efficient design for mixing of powders of different densities. These double con blenders can actually mix different density powders efficiently, and they are mostly used for small amount of powders. You cannot handle a very large quantity of powders in a double con blender. The rate of rotation should be optimum depending on the size and shape of the tumbler, nature of the material to be mixed, etc. Commonly, the range of rotation is 30 to 100 revolutions per minute. You can see some of the photographs of various types of double con blenders that are used in the industry. Let us look into the advantages of double con blenders. They are suitable for fragile granules because of minimum attrition. There are no moving blades hitting the particles so that further size reduction may not be happening. And these double cone blenders can handle large capacities depending on their size. They are easy to clean, load and unload. And these double cone blenders require minimum maintenance, and that is an added advantage. What are the disadvantages? Double cone blenders need high headspace for installation. Since that big cones are moving, rotating, it needs a lot of headspace for installation, and they are not suitable for fine particulate systems or ingredients of large differences in particle size distribution. So here we prefer uniformly sized particles and especially granular particles. If the powders are free-flowing, serial dilution is required for the addition of low-dose active ingredients. That means if the quantity of some material is too low, you will have to do a serial dilution or a geometrical dilution pattern to follow the mixing in a double cone blend. Let us move into a twin shell blender, or otherwise called as a V-cone blend. Here, as you can see in the image, the shell where the powder will be handled is of a V shape. And this V-shaped shell is again connected to an axis. The rod is connected to a motor, and the V-cone will be rotating on that particular axis. Smaller models take charge of 20 kilograms and rotate at 35 revolutions per minute, while larger ones take a charge of about 1 ton and rotate at 15 revolutions per minute. The material is loaded through either of the shell hatches. There are two openings where we can load the material. Emptying of the blend is normally done through an apex port, which is there on the top of the V-shaped portion. And the material to be blended is loaded approximately 50 to 60% of the total volume, and rest of the volume is kept free for effective mixing. As the blender rotates, the material undergoes tumbling motion. When the V shape is inverted, the material splits into two portions. This process of dividing and recombining continuously yields ordered mixing. It is rotated so that the material alternatively is collected in the bottom of the V. Blender speed is the key for mixing efficiency. High speed, more dusting; low speeds, less shear. Hence, we should have a balance in the speed of rotation of a V-cone blender. Now look into the tumbling blenders with agitator mixing blades. These are modified blenders which we came across earlier. So you can see in the image there is a V-cone blender with agitating blades. And there is another double cone blender with agitating blades inside. These are modified versions of the same blenders. There are few images showing the kind of blades situated within the particular shell that can be a V-cone or a double cone sort of shell. Advantages of these sort of tumblers with blades, let us look into those. They are useful for both wet and dry mixing, whereas the shell mixers without blades are useful only for dry mixing. A wide range of shearing force can be applied with agitator bars, permitting the intimate mixing. Serial dilution is not required for low dose of active pharmaceutical ingredients if the tumblers are having blades in it. At the same time, there are a few disadvantages for the tumblers with blades. Attrition is large and the size reduction of friable particles are the result. Hence, very friable materials cannot be added into tumblers with blades, and scale up can be a problem from a smaller device to a bigger tumbler with blades. The blades will interrupt cleaning and their potential packing sealing problems can occur. These are a few disadvantages of using tumblers with blades. Thank you.